Okay, so now that you guys know a little bit about iambic pentameter, hopefully the notes at the very top, all this made sense. There was a couple videos that I posted that you could have watched and listened to for practice. Hopefully you did a little bit of digging on your own when you're curious about things and you don't understand things. You guys are issued a computer, so hopefully you did a little bit of searching. Iambic pentameter is super popular, especially because it is Shakespeare's preferred rhythm in his poetry and plays. Okay, I'm going to be pretty dramatic about how I go through this just so that you understand what we're looking for. Okay, so all right, so the first we know from our example and from what we know about iambic pentameter that it goes unstressed, stressed. So unstressed will be in yellow like it is up here, and then stress is what we will end with, and it will be in green, okay? So like I said, I'm going to be pretty dramatic about this. So two households, both alike in dignity, okay? So it goes through that rhythm and it goes based on the syllables. So households is 2 syllables, so it's going to be 2 different stresses. Okay, so unstressed, stressed, oops, stressed, unstressed. Okay, so remember green is stressed, and what we mean by stress is just the emphasis that you put on it when you're speaking. So the 2, because it's unstressed, is going to be kind of low, just a regular tone, 2. Then house, your pitch and your emphasis is going to go up a little bit. So 2 households, both alike in dignity. Okay? Okay, so again, just to reiterate, let's go through this one more time. 2 households, both alike in dignity. Notice how households is one word, but it's split into 2 different rhythms, and then dignity is split into 3 different because of the 3 different syllables that it has in the one word. Okay, so let's do the same thing for line 2. In fair Verona, where we lay our scene. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Does that make sense? Hope so. Let's look at it in color. Okay, so notice that the coloring is kind of different for this because we have a couple, like in the first couple words right here. Verona is 3 different syllables. So just like dignity, it's broken up in its 3 different syllables with 3 different stresses. Okay, one thing that I also forgot to mention that I want to mention is that yes, every time you're going to start with unstressed and with stressed, but you should also have 5, that's where the pent comes from, feet in every line, okay? So feet meaning here's a pair, that's 1 foot, okay? Here's another pair, that's another foot, okay? And if you look at all the pairs, so yellow, green, 1, yellow, green, 2, yellow, green, 3, yellow, green, 4, yellow, green, 5. You have 5 feet in that line. Same with the first one, and you will have 5 feet in every single line. That's where the pent comes from an iambic pentameter. Okay, so think of just break the word pentameter down. Pent always means 5, like the pentagon, and then meter always means the length or measurement of something. Okay, so let's go through line 3. From ancient grudge, break to new mutiny. So let's do it one more time. From ancient grudge, break to new mutiny. Okay, let's look at it in color. Okay, so now that we see how this is broken down, look at it in comparison to line 1. So you have 1 syllable, 1 syllable, 2 syllables, 2 syllables, 1, 1. Okay, then we have a little bit of a difference here with alike and break 2, but still the same idea. Because then you come back to this last word, dignity, mutiny. Okay, so one thing that I'll also point out, which hopefully we will talk about at a later date, or we'll talk about it next year with your 10th grade teacher, is that the prologue of Romeo and Juliet is a sonnet. It's called a Shakespearean sonnet. And so if you look at the lines A, B, B. So what I mean by that is dignity, mutiny. That's A and A. Then the second line and the fourth line are going to match. Seen, unclean. So B, B. Then you'll go down. You have line 5 and 7. So foes, overthrows. Okay, kind of a slant rhyme there. And then you have, so that would be C and C, and then life and strife, that would be D and D, and it goes on through the entire poem until you get to the very end, which doesn't follow that pattern. You have 2 extra lines, and they will be attend and demand. So the last 2 lines will have that same ending sound as opposed to every other line like the rest of the poem or prologue. Okay, so just a side note, just a cool thing to notice. All right, let's go through and look at line 4 now. So, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. Okay. Also, before I even continue with line 4, let's go back and make sure you guys are cool with this separation of the word ancient. So some of you might have a little bit of a hard time separating the syllable because you're going to want to put this C with the first syllable of the word, but you can't have the shouldn't sound without the CIE, okay? So the ain't is going to be the first syllable and the shouldn't is going to be the second. So the C will go with the second one instead of the first. Sometimes that gets a little mixed up, so I wanted to point that out. But back to the fourth line, where civil blood makes civil, oh, no, that was right. Where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. So let's look at it colored. Okay, so the same line, now it is done. Notice again how we have that 5 feet present in this line as well. Let's do it one more time. Where civil, notice how civil is 2 syllables. It gets broken down into those 2 syllables for its sounds. So civil blood makes civil hands unclean. Okay, let's go through one more line together. Okay, so let's go through it. Just hearing first, from forth the fatal loins of these 2 foes. So you're going to go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. That's not right. Okay, so I went through that a little bit wrong. I forgot that fatal had 2 syllables, so I apologize. See, it happens to everyone. So from forth the fatal loins of these 2 foes. So down, unstressed, stressed, unstressed. Then you have 2 syllables, so up, down, fatal. Loins, you go back up, down, up, up. Okay? Okay, so now that the 4th line or the 5th line is done in color, take a look at it. You only have 1 word in here that is more than 1 syllable, and as you can see, it is broken down into its syllables, just like all the other words have been in this passage so far. So I'm gonna maybe post the rest of the answers at the end of the week, but I want you guys to, now that you have a little bit of an idea or more or better idea, hopefully, go through and try the rest out on your own. Just make sure you are starting with a yellow and ending with a yellow, and that you have 5 pairs throughout. If that's the case for your line, then odds are you did it right.